landscapes and flower painting in addition to this. But this probably means more to me, and as you can see, I brought all my family pretty much here. I brought my dad, I've got my mum, I've got my granddad, and I've got my sister and my 2 nieces. And the reason is that because they mean so much to me, and I do enjoy doing portraits and always have. That probably started when I was quite young, and at school I was encouraged by an inspirational teacher, and I think most of us here will have those teachers, haven't you, in your mind. But that helped me move along and try and get better at trying to represent the people that I wanted to paint, and in this instance it's my family. Okay, so from school, Hope Hall, I went to, and the only thing I was good at was art. Maths was rubbish, but art was good. And the 6th form, I went to Pemberton 6th form, and again, a great inspirational teacher, Mrs. Siddall, encouraged me, and I got into Manchester to do illustration, so thank you, Mrs. Siddall. I did a little illustration, which basically meant I was doing quite sort of narrative work. I always had to feature on the story, because that's what illustration is. I was doing lots of book illustrations. This is all my sister and my nieces, because this was the start of my journey here. I joined in 2007 with my friend Karen, and this was featured in the 2008 60-year anniversary of the club. But the work was created back in the day when we had themes, and I can't think who would have set that. Going War? Tim? Who? I don't know. But I remember the club was given the brief. Produce a piece of work inspired by Clint. And I thought, perfect. That was like the perfect storm for me, because it meant I love a triptych, and I thought I can use my sister and my 2 nieces in this. And it gave me the opportunity to use gold leaf and glitter. Job's a good one for me, because I love that decorative element. I was able to use mixed media, glitter, foil, all sorts of things are in this piece. So if you want to have a look later, you can please do. But Clint is one of my inspirational artists, along with lots of other people, like Hopper. Thank you, that was one. Lots of people, we're all inspired. And what I should say, it's not just other artists, but like being here, being part of the club is inspirational, to sort of meet everybody and to sort of exchange ideas, look at each other's work. And I feel sorry, I've not been for the last couple of years or so for various reasons, but I used to be very regular, and hopefully I will be in the future. But this has been a great source of inspiration, and in particular in the gallery, you know, being amongst the artwork and in this building. I think it's great, and we're very lucky to meet here. Okay, you're looking at your watch there, so that means I'm either going too fast or too slow. Somebody give me the times up. I'm quite mindful of that. So this was great. I love doing this piece of work. Okay, and the next piece has got to be my granddad. Bless him. I did this piece of work from a photograph, and I do take lots of photographs. That's part of my background doing illustration. We used to work a lot from photographs, and look at composition and change things. And I used to set up scenes and photograph them in order to produce work. So on this particular day, it was a good day with my granddad. I took my dog, Susie, who he loved. That made him smile. He was quite elderly at this point. He was 94. And as soon as I took the picture, I knew I had to paint it. I think we all have them moments, don't we? Think, yeah, that's it. And what I loved was the light coming through. And my granddad was happy. The dog, Susie, made him happy. And so I really loved this painting. And the other thing I should mention, I've done 2 of this. I do 2 of most things, which is an odd thing. Or maybe somebody else does 2 pieces of work, similar. And the idea being that on the first one, that you make all because the first one did win an award, which one of David mentioned earlier. My granddad did get to see the painting, so that to me was really, that was great. He got to see it and he was pleased with it. So yeah, that's a standout thing for me. So moving on from another family member, which is my dad, who I painted not so long ago, 2 years ago, and sadly he passed away last year. So he did get to see the work, and I think he was quite pleased with it. Although perhaps you don't recognise yourself, he was a bit unsure what's going on. But it was, I've done this twice.
What they painted?
Acrylic.
Correct.
Mainly acrylic. I'm just going to come through here. Acrylic. The thing about it, I did the pencil drawing first, which in a way I prefer. And you know, I just talked about doing things twice. I am going to do my dad twice. That's quite recent, and in a way, it's very realistic, and I want to be more expressionistic. I think at the time when I painted it, he was poorly, and I was trying to hold my emotions in, and he was being very stoic at that time. It was just before I went into the hospital. So he was holding it together, he was very poorly. But when I took a photograph of him, he was, you know, quite proud. He wanted to sort of be his best self as he could be. But one of the things with my dad, I absolutely love his fingers. I've done his hands loads of times. And they're in the sketchbook. And you can see, if you have a look later, in my Concertina sketchbook, I've got lots of drawings of him. I think, if you have a look in here, this is some drawings of him at hospital. There's lots of hospital visits. You know, so there's things in here, but I would like to paint him again, and I will do. So it's there. What I forgot to mention before, I do try and sketch. I've talked about photographing, but I do sketch. So this was a prep. I forgot to mention it in relation to my granddad. So the tonal studies I would always do. I would map out sort of compositional ideas. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay. So moving on, I brought my mum in, and this was taken at COVID time. I don't think it's my best painting, but it's a painting I love because of the positivity that my mum exudes. She's got a winning smile, and I wanted to capture it. She hadn't seen anyone for a long time, and I took the photograph from the garden as she was sat in the conservatory. So we were all masked up, and but what she was doing was creating this COVID comfort blanket.
That is your mum.
Yeah, she can't be here today, but so I just loved that about her. And while I was growing up, she probably was the source of inspiration for me. She was always doodling. I could draw you now her go-to doodle, because she always used to draw faces in profile, and she'll do that even today. So she was always supportive, because she had this sort of like natural ability, if you will. My dad was supportive, but I was saying to my friend Karen in the car, his idea of my art career was going to be in Woolworths at the paint counter. Because I'm the first person to go on to FE, and the first person, you know, in the family to do anything arty. So it's a complete, like, what you're doing, you know, with a sort of working class family from Salford, you know, what's going on? Anyway, we move on, don't we? And you follow your path.
Can I ask, did you do a second one of that?
No, I haven't, not yet. But I probably will. I've got another photograph of her doing something to do with the blanket. So I probably will, yeah.
Do you always find that your second one is better than your first one? Because I've tried to do a second version, and it's usually the first one that's been better. But how do you find that experience?
I think it depends. If I think, you know, the second one is probably better than the first one of my granddad. It just depends, but I feel the compulsion to do it again, just to make sure, you know, during COVID, I'm sort of moving on now, I started doing the concertina sketchbooks. I don't know, I must have seen it on Instagram. I did do a book making course with Barbara Crocker. Thank you, Elizabeth Shaw. So I have got home, I've got sort of made sketchbooks, but I really got into doing this. And I was doing Sky Portrait Artist of the Week. So I was just filling, it was just crazy, I just had to fill it. But I had nothing else to do, so it was great. So I've got loads of these in different sizes and on different themes. But so this was done in COVID, and this was started, which I've got on the post there, Cuppa and Chat. That I started a series of work on that theme to do with conversations and trying to capture people in moments of time. So I've shown you all the portraits singularly, but this kind of work is when I'm trying to do a narrative and tell a story. So this particular piece, which I've brought 2 lots of, and I don't think it's right yet, these are all preparatory works that are not resolved in my head, but I think there's something there. So this was taken in, that picture was me, my mum and my mum's best friend, Sheila. And it was here, it was the Warren exhibition of the guy who wrote, Tony Warren, who wrote Coronation Street. So they set up a street scene, and part of the exhibition, they had a table, chairs and teapot and cups and saucers. So we just sat down, we had pennies, which we could all put on, which you can see there we did. So that's the start of an idea, and this is total mixed media. There's mono printing on that, there's collage, there's acrylic paint, there's everything thrown at that. And similarly with this one here. But I'm not sure yet where I'm going with it.
Is that not harking back to your heritage, because you're a Salford girl?
Maybe.
Brought up in that era.
Yeah,
Coronation Street.
yeah, early days. I just want to do one more thing. Oh, God.
I noticed you've got the 3 duckies on the wall.
Absolutely.
We all have those.
It's a deliberate thing, the slipped one. I did that deliberately. Glad you spotted it. But that was a thing, yeah. But in terms of doing a narrative, that started for me a little bit earlier than this, because one of the pieces of work that I had on show was this in 2017, and my friend Karen was in there. So that was a winning piece of work. It actually sold at the exhibition. I'm quite pleased with that. So that was friends enjoying a cuppa. So this idea of sitting down and having conversations is something I'm interested in. I think people reveal a lot. It's just a nice thing to do.
Reality.
Yeah. So I think I'm exploring this theme. I continue to do that. So